Hello, this is SJ Talks and Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today is Sunday, February the 26th, 2023. There was a terrible ice storm on Wednesday night and knocked out the power for 2 days. And so didn't have no power, completely gone. So just glad that the power is back. Glad that I'm back and situated in my house. I hate when that happens, especially in the wintertime. But anyway, thank God for power. Thank God for heat. Thank God for a roof. Thank God. That's all I can say is thank God. If you guys got a chance to click on that video or TikTok that I posted on my channel, I put a TikTok on, and it's talking about how the white people want to get rid of a lot of black people. If you hadn't had a chance to see that, go ahead and click on it. It's a TikTok that I posted, and they're talking about population control. And guess who are the first people that they're talking about getting rid of? Black people. So I'm gonna put the link. I'll put the link to that in the description box. You hadn't had a chance to check that out. Check that out. So I want to expand on that a little further. Black people gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. We so busy fighting each other. We're so busy with this gender war between black men and black women. We're so busy fighting each other. We're so busy killing each other. We're so busy trying to break each other down, trying to destroy each other, and not realizing why we're trying to destroy each other and try to kill each other and all that. The dominant people, the dominant race, is talking about bringing us down. When they talk about population control and all that kind of stuff, guess who the first people they think about getting rid of? That's black people. So while y'all be so busy, so quick to believe everything the government say, believe everything the government puts something out there. Well, there's a lot of things that I can't say because, I don't want YouTube to shut me down. But if you didn't get a chance to check, I got a video on rumble.com. I'm under Sweet June on rumble.com. Get over there and check that video out. Because, it's a lot of things I can't say on here. But I already know what's up. Y'all, we should already know what's up as black people. We should already know what's up. Certain things are put into place and done purposely to destroy certain people. And you can't believe nothing. The government always has an agenda. They don't do nothing without an agenda. Everything is done with an agenda. You cannot completely trust the government. The perception is that we can trust them. Well, history has proven, and time has proven again that we haven't been able to trust the government. I mean, that's throughout history. It's proven time and time again that the government can't be trusted, especially when it comes to black people. We should know better. Can't totally put trust. Historically, we've never been able to trust the government. The government used to have certain laws into place that they had laws to say that we couldn't go to certain areas, restaurants and stuff. They had laws in place that we couldn't go certain places. This is the same government that allowed that to happen. And just because over the decades they've changed things and decide to throw us a bone and make changes doesn't mean that they all good now, because they're not. The government, always remember, the government has an agenda. They have an agenda, okay? And can't put total trust in the government, okay? So the number one person that we got to put trust in is God and Jesus. Those are the only two people we got to put our total trust in. God. You can't. The Bible specifically says that. The Bible specifically says, "Don't trust man." It's in your Bible. It's in your scripture. All you gotta do is read the scripture. It says, "Do not put no trust in man." We gotta put it in God. But why we so busy fighting each other, bashing each other, all this stuff? We think all that stuff is cute. They're trying to get rid of us. They want us gone. They want us out of here. They want us out of here. Okay? They've been trying to do that for decades. The only time they wanted us here was during slavery, and that was to their benefit. That was for their benefit. It was for their benefit. It wasn't for ours. We saw our people suffer. Our people didn't do nothing but suffer. That was to their benefit. That's the only time they wanted us here. It's when they could use us for free labor, where they could use our people for free labor. That was the only time that they wanted us here, so they could use us for free labor. But ever since we stopped working for free, and they started to having to pay us, they don't want nothing to do with us. They don't want nothing to do with us. And I've seen on Elder Truth, Elder Baba Truth channel, he did put a video on where Jane Elliott said that black people were the first people here. Yes, black people were already here. There were a lot of black people that were already on the American soil. Because we all know that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. We all know that. We already know people were already here when he showed up, before he showed up. But they keep telling our children that lie in school. They tell our children that lie in school. I had to set the record straight for both of my sons when they came home with that crap. I said, no, that school is telling you wrong. Christopher Columbus didn't discover anything. I had to set the record straight. But the schools are still teaching our children this. Now they want to erase our history. They want to completely erase our history like it never happened. They want to erase the history, thousands, hundreds of years that we were enslaved. They want to erase that from the history books. That they don't want to teach it to our young children. They're taking that out of the critical race theory. They're taking it out of because they want to erase the history. Just like Tulsa, they had a whole thriving black community over there. And they destroyed it, and then they tried to erase the history of it like it never happened. Like it never happened. Now go on my TikTok. My TikTok is, I'm under Sweet June 54 on TikTok. I'm posting a lot of that stuff on TikTok. Go check me out on TikTok. I'm going to put both of those in the description box. Rumble.com, I'm under Sweet June. TikTok, I'm under Sweet June 54. I post a lot of that. I'm posting some stuff like that on TikTok. Yes. They destroyed the whole thriving black community, and they try to erase the history of it like it never happened. And this is what they're doing now, right? Taking critical race theory out of the schools. They're trying to erase our history like it never happened. So our future generations of children will be walking around in ignorance. That's why it's our responsibility as black people to educate our children. We need to educate our children. It's up to us to educate our children. We can't depend on the white racist school system to educate our children. We got to educate our children about our history because they want our children to grow up in ignorance. We got to, as black people, we got to make sure that doesn't happen. We so busy fighting each other. We're so busy, black men dogging black women dogging black men. We're so busy looking to other races of people and fighting each other. At once upon a time, that was all black people had was each other. Once upon a time, that was all we had was each other. Do you know? Because my mother told me this. My mother was born 1940. My mother told me this. That black people couldn't even get food stamps, governmental assistance. The welfare program was created for during the Depression to help the white people. The welfare system, that's why they get mad when we're on it. That's why they get so pissed when we're on it. And then they want to make it seem like we're the only ones that's getting it when more of them are actually getting it. That's why they don't want us on it. Because the welfare program was originally created for white people. My mother said black people had to do the best they could. She said black people couldn't even get food stamps or governmental assistance when she was coming up. She said black people had to do the best they could. Black people had to bond together, had to come together and help one another. Because it wasn't, the welfare program was initially created for white people. They didn't start giving it to black folks until down the road. So there was a time when then all we had was each other. The thriving black communities that they had all over the country. It wasn't just Tulsa, Rosewood, Seneca Valley in New York. These thriving black communities were all over the United States. If you don't believe me, Google it. They were all over the United States. They had Seneca Valley, which is now Central Park in New York City. They ran the black folks out of there. I wish I could run up on some old newspaper articles and stuff like that. Right now, they're trying to research. I was looking at a documentary. Look at some of these documentaries. These documentaries are very educational. Check out some of these documentaries. They have some of them on Tubi, some of them on Hulu. Check out some of these documentaries where they're talking about the history of these things. They're very educational. I either was watching something on YouTube. There's lots of information here on YouTube too. I think I was either watching something on YouTube or a documentary or something where they was talking about they're trying to do the research and try to collect artifacts and do research about Seneca Valley. And they're trying to get as much, because that's another thing they try to sweep under the carpet. They ran the black folks out of there. And then the city of New York took it over, and now it's a park. But that used to be a thriving black community. But they ran the black people out of there. And they try to erase the history of that. Because for a long time, I didn't know nothing about that till a few years ago. For a long time, I didn't know anything about that. See, that's what they want. They want to erase the history of all this stuff because they don't want us to know. See, we have thriving black communities like that all over the country, but the white people ran the black people out of there and took over the communities. Okay, because a lot of racism has a lot to do with power. Racism is more about power than it is anything. That's why when white people say, well, you racist, they try to say just simply because you speak on racism, they want to call you a racist. They have no idea what it is. They have no idea what it is. They don't know what it means. They don't experience it. So they sound really ignorant. Black people don't even have the power to be racist. We don't have the power to be racist. We don't have the power to be racist. You know? Racism is about power. We don't have the power to be racist. We may have the power to be racist towards each other. We could probably be racist towards each other. Probably got power to be racist towards each other, but we don't have no power to be racist towards white people. So when they say that, they sound really stupid because they have no idea what racism really is. It's about power. It's about institutionalized laws, institutionalized racism to bring it to discriminate against the whole race of people. Yes, yes, and our people need to wake up. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. Stop all this fighting amongst each other. That's what we're only doing what they want us to do. And we need to start coming together. We need to start building up our communities, having stronger black families. Men start walking away from the kids. We keep looking outside of ourselves. We keep looking outside of our race. Don't nobody care about us more than what we should be caring about ourselves and each other. And I post those things for black people to wake up, to educate black people and wake black people up. We need to wake up. And I include me in there too. We need to wake up. They've been trying to destroy us ever since the beginning of time. They've been trying to destroy us. There was a lot of things that was invented by black people. The stoplight, peanut butter. It was a lot of things that black people invented that we use today. But a lot of things were stolen from us. A lot of our ideals were stolen from us, and they're profiting from an idea that was originally started from us. A lot of our land was stolen from us. It was a lot of black people that were already here. They don't want us to know that. They don't want us to know that. Because they would not only owe us a lot of money, but they would also owe us a lot of land. See, when they ended slavery, we was promised 40 acres and a mule. But black people still went on into indentured servitude for many, many years after slavery ended. Black people went on into indentured servitude for many, many years where they worked, but they still worked with very low wages, with extremely low wages. That indentured servitude went on for years after slavery ended. So in a sense, we were still slaves. See, they restructure it, like the prison system. The prison system. A lot of black men and women are in the prison system. Well, we all know that in the prisons, they get free labor. There's a lot of money in the prison system. We all know that there's free labor, that they work the prisoners and for free. So that's in a sense another form of slavery. If they can put you in prison, make you work for free, give you a ridiculous sentence for something like marijuana, for something that's already legal. Yeah, everybody that's sitting in prison under marijuana charges should be released because they're making marijuana legal all over the United States. There's still some places where it's not legal. And they're talking about making it legally federally. I read something on was it Facebook? No, I don't know. I read something somewhere where it says, oh, maybe Google on somewhere on Google, whatever. They're in Congress is debating right now, or whether they should legalize marijuana at the federal level, federally. They're just trying to decide whether they should, Because guess who's making the money off of it? They legalized it here in Michigan. We got weed shops. In my city, there's weed shops popping up all over the place. All over the place. Every time I turn around, there's a weed shop. They're all over the place. Guess who's making the money off of these weed? It's not black people. In my city, we only got one black-owned dispensary in my city. See, something that we used to get in trouble and get put in jail for is now legal, and guess who's making the money off of it? See, black people need to wake up. We need to wake up. Why don't black people have a stake in that? Why aren't black people? The hair care industry. I was going to do a whole nother video talking about the hair care industry. There's a multi-billion-dollar industry. But black people only have a small percentage of that. They're a stake in that. That's the word I'm looking for. Black people only have a small stake in that. The hair care industry is set up to where they're trying to block black people from prospering in it. The distributors where you go to the hair store and they got all those products in there for black women that 9 times out of 10 is not black owned. The distributor where they get that stuff from try to either increase the prices when black people try to buy things from them. They increase the prices, or they try to make it so black folks can't buy anything. Yes, and I was going to do a whole video about that. The billion-dollar hair care industry that we only have a little small stake in. See? When you go to your local black hair supply store, who's running it? 9 times out of 10 is not an African American. They come to our communities and they make money off of us. We should have the black hair care industry should be 90% black ran and black owned. But they got a monopoly on that. And instead of black people trying to fight and to get more of a stake into that, we're so busy fighting each other. We're too busy fighting each other. We're too busy destroying each other instead of trying to strategize and try to figure out how we can get more of a stake into this industry here that's selling our products to us. Most of the black hair care, a lot of the black hair care, like that sell your black hair care products, they're white owned. They're white owned. They're not owned by black people. I think they say Cantu is white owned. African Pride, I think, is white owned. Yeah, you heard what I said. It's white owned. Just because it says African owned, it don't mean it's white owned. See? It ain't black owned. See, we should be trying to come together and try to strategize and how to figure out how we can get more of a stake into these things. That we could be selling those products to our own people. We can shut those stores down. Stop patronizing them. Stop patronizing them. They'll be forced to shut down. And when they shut down, then we come back in there and open it right back up. But it makes it very difficult for black people to, like I said, it's very difficult for black people to, at the distributor level, to get the products. They try to make it hard for black folks to get the products. Yeah, it's real out here, people. See, you guys do your research on this. Google this stuff. The information is out there. But we're so busy fighting each other, getting on YouTube, bashing one another, while they try to figure out a way to keep us disenfranchised, to keep us oppressed, to kill us, to get rid of us. While they're plotting to do all that, we're so busy fighting. We won't come together. We won't come together. We won't build up an infrastructure. We refuse to come together and build up an infrastructure like our people was done before. Our people did it before. And if they can do it before, we can do it now. Everything that they did before, we can do it now. Okay? But we got to unify. It requires unification. We got to unify. That's the only way we're going to be able to do it. When black people get rich, they put their money back into the white funnel. It somehow gets back into the white community. You marry a rich black man marries a woman, a Caucasian woman. Not against interracial, but I'm speaking of facts. His money's going back into it's going to go back into the white community. It's not coming into the black communities. Our people get successful, they don't come back and I'm you know what I'm saying? And so we don't stick together. We don't stick together. Other races of people stick together. They build up their communities. I was watching this. I'm getting ready to shut this video down in a minute, but I was watching this man on TikTok, and he walks throughout New York City, or he's from New York, but he walks. I watch him on TikTok live sometimes. He walks in New York City, or he'll ride his bike, and then talk about the various different neighborhoods. And one neighborhood he was in a Jewish community. He was walking in a Jewish community, and they had their own police. And he's kind of educating us on the neighborhood there. He said they're very protected. They all stick together. And he said they own businesses over here. They have their own businesses. He showed walk past. He showed where they had it was some police cars. They had their own police officers over there. They had their own police officers where they can police their own community. And he said that they have businesses. Their families they all work together cohesively to create a strong community. And it looked like it was a nice neighborhood. The Jewish people were walking around with their men had their little hats on and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's what a lot of communities do. And that's what black people need to start doing. We need to start building up our communities. Nobody's going to do it for us. They want us to stay in the situation that we're in. We need to have stronger black families. Instead of always fighting each other, we need to stop. We need to unify, and then we complain about racism. Ain't no sense in complaining about it if you're not going to do nothing about it. Because we always got to go to the dominant race to get something. We got to go. I've always had to go outside of my community to get a job. I've never worked for a black-owned business. Never in my entire life. I always had to go outside the community to get a job. Instead of begging other people to give us opportunities, why don't we create our own opportunities in our own communities? And then when a black person want to have a business, then they try to destroy it. Then they try to get robbed and destroy it. We need to change. They will change if we change. I've said it in many other videos. They will change if we change. It starts with us. The change starts with us. We need to change. We need to change. Nobody's going to give us anything. We're the ones that need to change. We keep looking for them to change. They ain't never going to change. Things been like this for I don't know how long has our people had to endure. And it's still systematic racism. It's going to always be that way because things are always going to be set up where they stay in power. A lot of money is made in our oppression. So racism is never going to end. As long as this system is still here, it's not going to come to an end. But we can minimize the effects of it if we start sticking together. We got to stick together. We got to come together and unify and stop all this race war that we got going on. We keep talking about a race war. We got a race war going on within our own race. Black people, wake up. Wake up, black people. We need to wake up. No sense to keep crying about racism. We're not going to do anything else about it. And we keep dogging each other. We keep killing each other. We keep destroying each other. Trying to bring each other down. When somebody does try to do something, y'all shoot them down. Like Brother Umar Johnson. He's trying. He is trying. At least he is trying to do something for the black community. He's trying to have a black school over there for black boys, eventually black children, women, girls. And said, why is it taking so long? He's a fraud. Why is it taking so long to get? Because he's operating purely on donations. That's why. He's not trying to rely on the government. If he applied for government grants, he probably would have already had the school up and running. He's not trying to rely on the government. He's doing this strictly by donations. That's why it's taken so long. He's doing it strictly by donations. He's not relying on the federal government. That's why is it taking so long? And he's scamming and all that. And he keeps steady showing y'all the progress of the school. He keeps steady showing us the progress. But people still want to doubt him. When somebody try to do something positive in our community, what do? We shoot them down. We shoot them all day scamming and all this kind of stuff. We are our own worst enemies. Don't want us crabs in the bucket mentality. Don't want to see each other get ahead. Keep trying to pull each other down. While we doing all that, they try to plot and figure out ways to get rid of us. Remember that snake oil? The first time they put that snake oil out, they said we give it to the black people. We'll see how it do them. Remember that? Take your mind back. Reverse back. I don't forget nothing when it comes to that. They say, well, let's try it over in Africa with the black people. Let's see how it do them. See, they always want to experiment on us. Why y'all always want to experiment on us? See? Take your mind back to that. Because I think I talked about it, did a video talking about it. I don't forget nothing when it comes to that. See, they always want to try something. Don't be no guinea pig for the government. They always want to experiment on us, on our black bodies, because they want to get rid of us. Black people need to wake up. And I don't care if I'm repeating myself. Black people need to wake up. Why we fighting each other? They're trying to kill us. They're trying to get rid of us. Population control. When they talk about population control, who you think the first people that they want to get rid of? It's black people. That's the first people on the list. Second is probably the elderly. But if God is for us, who can be against us? They wanted to kill a lot more of us off in the pandemic. I can't say too much. But if God is for us, who can be against us? God is more powerful than a pandemic. I said my life is in God's hands. My immune system is in God's hands. Okay? I'm not relying on the federal government. I put my life and my health in God's hands. I look to God for my good health. You know what I'm saying? I look to God. Now, he does use the doctors to help us, the good doctors. The good doctors that's really in the profession for the right reasons, he used them to help us. There's racism in the medical care system. There's racism in the medical care system. Yeah. So we need to wake up and stop fighting each other. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this video. Go ahead, hit the subscribe. I'll be talking about more of this. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like and share, and think about what I said. Until the next video, be blessed.